Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. The time is 7:30 this fine Wednesday morning. We are smack in the middle of the week, which means that maybe your energy is doing a little bit topsy-turvy. It's okay. You can still push. You can still make it through to another day. Friday is just looking at you. So delay is not Delilah. I know you're waiting for me to say that.
Good morning, Fumi. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm fine. Thank you. This morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm good. I feel great today. It's Wednesday's midweek already. So yesterday I was talking to my dad and I was like, wait, so this month is running. You know, I said, for people that their salary has finished, it is the slowest month.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Very true. Very true.
It's midweek already. Hopefully the week is going as we all planned. If not, don't worry. Just keep going. Most important thing is to get up and keep going. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Well, good. We have a special guest, a surprise guest in the house this morning. Is, ladies and gentlemen, brethren, members of the press, it is none other than Tone Okewale. She's joining us on the show this morning. Oh, no shakere this morning.
No shakere here, no shakere. But don't worry, we're giving her all the shakere that we have. Good morning, yes. Tone. How are you today? Is she with us? Anyway, I'm sure that she'll definitely get to join us. So yeah, this is the newspaper review right here on Your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and this is where we get to go through the headlines. We give you. Oh, finally, so we can hear you. Good morning.
What happened? What happened?
We weren't hearing you.
After all the intro.
We just pull our hand.
It's on me. It's Nigerian network. Honestly, it's Nigerian network, but one must not allow that network to frustrate one. So frustrating. You know, so frustrating. It's a lovely Wednesday, honestly. I mean, one of the most beautiful towns and cities, you know. Very laid back,
so
very
biased
conservative.
she's biased with Abeokuta.
No, I am biased. I think Abeokuta is the next deal, is the next real deal for Nigeria. Honestly, it's very close. Honestly, it's close to Lagos. A lot of things are happening, infrastructure, businesses, companies. We have an airport. You know, I just think is very calm, is very reserved. There's no stress, there's no traffic jam. I think it's the best thing. In 50 minutes, 1 hour, you're in Lagos. If it's to go by train, is easy. I think if you have not invested in Abeokuta, start thinking. You know, go state Shabo Abeokuta, start thinking. You know, so good morning, lovely Wednesday from the beautiful city of Abeokuta.
It's okay. So Lagos are just collected straight bullet anyhow this morning, but no wala.
Because Rose, we cannot say good morning from the beautiful city of Lagos. They will stone us.
Oh, you see what I mean? Abeokuta is beautiful, honestly. Adire is here, you know, but let's do what we have to do. Good morning. Great to be back. Great to join you on the full breakfast newspaper review. Thank you.
Yes. We're just going to go straight into the headlines this morning, starting off with the Punch newspaper. Convention, Lamido Turaki McCarthy lead PDP chairman race. We also have Tinubu nominates Bernard Doro as minister.
All right, let's head on to the next paper we have this morning. The next one is coming from The Guardian. And on The Guardian, the two headlines we picked from there says, reps divided over motion to shield Dangote refinery from labor action. And then another one says, Senate slams life sentence on child defilement to toughen laws on rape. Now, this one is with my body yesterday.
Yes. Yes.
It's my body.
Yes. And in the This Day newspaper, we have Sanwo-Olu, Fashola, Ambode, other APC stakeholders endorse Tinubu for re-election. We also have Senate applauds EFCC's recoveries, convictions on that Tinubu's watch. Rosemary, yesterday I said, They are recovering money, but we're not seeing it.
Exactly. We're not the see where the money they enter. Every day we dey hear say our money they come up for your money they, where they go. Waiting with the
There
user.
you go.
This is not the first time. All the Abacha loots that we kept hearing,
Sister.
at least the government should have been transparent enough to let us know that it has entered here, it has entered here.
Rose and Fumi, some of the money are being used for things like nail fund to support education. Some of, there are quite a number of things that are happening that we do not see and we do not get to hear about. I think the president media team need to do more work in need to do more accountability work in letting Nigerians know what these monies are being spent on, how we are spending the money. Honestly, I sincerely think they're not doing justice to what he's doing. That's my take on that. Yeah.
Exactly. At least we should be able to know so that the citizens are carried along. So imagine how many people have the same thoughts in their minds. All right, so let's head on to take up the next headline. Fumi just went through this day, so let's head on to Daily Trust. Daily Trust says phone snatchers kill nurse in Kaduna. This is quite sad. Let's head on to the next one. Kwara approves 8.1 billion naira for payment of retirees' gratuities. Kel, I hope this is the beginning of new things when it comes to retirees so that they can be smiling at least.
Yes. In the Vanguard newspaper, Abuja protest, court remands Kanu's lawyer, brother, 10 others in prison. We're going to get into that today, so I'm not just going to say anything about it. Alleged cybercrime, court shifts Natasha's trial to November 24. When I saw this one, I said, this woman is living even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, because
it's a lot.
It's a lot. But yeah.
But I trust her. She's a strong-willed woman. She will definitely
She is.
All right. Premium Times, court sacks all local council chairpersons and councillors in Ebonyi. And then another one says gunmen reportedly abduct 3 INEC officers, others in Kogi.
It's already happening because this is, since maybe 2 years ago. Yes. Campaigns have started, and then now that elections, voter registration has started, it has kicked off. When I saw this, I was like, okay, if this is happening now in 2025, what then will happen when we are closer to elections, especially with the fact that they are proposing moving the election to November 2026?
Yeah. All right. Hopefully, let's get to see how all of this unfolds, and the government takes proactive actions, on some of these things, and we get to have a seamless election by next year.
Yes.
All right.
The nation is.
Fire got shops at Alaba Market. And then another one said, hoodlum raise Ekiti ADC secretariat, disrupt ESCO's inauguration.
Again, it's already happening. We hope that this one will be different, because it's too early for all of this, which we shouldn't even be experiencing any of this at all. Anyway, the cable newspaper has court remands Ejimako Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer in Kuje prison over Abuja protest. Fashola applauds Tinubu, says opposition struggling to replicate APC's coalition.
All right, heading on to the last paper we'll take today, coming from the Daily Post. Bandits kidnap INEC staff in Kogi. Another one says court sacks Ebonyi council chairman and councillors elected in 2024. All right, these are the headlines we have for you today. Remember, you can react to any of them. We are here to hear from you this morning on the newspaper review, right here on the Full Breakfast Show on Women Radio WFM 91.7. It's about 20 minutes to 8 on the side of the radio. My name is Rose, and I've got Olufumi with me this morning, and we have our special analyst. We've just kept her in that corner today. Let us hear
I'm not an analyst, oh. I'm just enjoying this morning with you people. Oh. I'm not an analyst, oh. I refuse to be qualified as an analyst, oh, before I am slammed, oh. a broadcaster. But I'm happy to do this with you guys, honestly, with you ladies, honestly.
Right? No, don't worry, so don't worry, you're covered. You're covered. All right. So yes, you can do well to send those WhatsApp messages on 0703175657 or 08155917917. Our phone lines will be open shortly. Please do well to send in your messages before we get to open up the phone lines this morning. So yeah, for me, let's get on.
Okay. This one is from the Vanguard newspaper, and we started talking about this yesterday. Nigerians, as you call in, please make sure again that your comments are, peaceful, they are measured, they are respectful, they are civil. We understand the sensitivity of this particular topic and how it is affecting Nigerians at large. But at the same time, when you call, please make sure that you're calling, with respect, not just for yourself, but for your brother who's listening, your sister who's listening, and for this great esteemed radio station. Okay, we're not going to prevent you from speaking, from saying your thoughts. However, once it's going the other way, once again, the thoughts and contributions and comments of the callers are of the callers. Let me just say that now so that nobody is saying hey for me, because I'm expecting that Prince will call and say for me. I know, because yesterday Prince called and said for me and Rose. And me, I asked Mr. Jeremy. So this morning you're going to be addressing tone this morning by yourself. Okay. With that being said, we're going to go into it. The Vanguard newspaper. Abuja protest, court remands Kanu's lawyer, brother, 10 others in prison. Yesterday, when we talked about this is basically the aftermath of the protest. I had asked Adeyemi yesterday, I asked him, I said, should these people be arrested? And his response was that, there were certain places in Abuja that were cordoned off from people going there. But I was like, why is a court? I said, why is a court giving an injunction for the police to arrest people? When I took a look at the charges against these people who went for this protest, who were arrested, I was like, okay, what are we doing? 10 people were arrested, inclusive of Nnamdi Kanu's brother, inclusive of his lawyer as well. They were arrested by a team of security agents in different locations within the FCT. While they said the charges were they were involving themselves in inciting disturbance, breach of public peace in disobedience to a court order, denying other citizens the freedom of movement, disrupting free flow of traffic while chanting war songs, and requesting for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, who is undergoing lawful trial at the Federal High Court in a manner that threatens national security. You thereby committed the above mentioned offenses. Now, here's what is interesting. They were taken, but there was no legal representation for them. One of the defendants, Okere Nnamdi, who's also a legal practitioner, elected to defend himself, same as Nnamdi Kanu's counsel. But their pleas were rejected by the court, and their case adjourned till Friday. What is the basis of this? Because I believe that everyone who is remanded to court or who's arraigned before a court should get their fair share, should get their chance at legal representation, so that they can, argue their case and be like, this is what it is, this is what it is. They've also tried to get bail for them, but that has also been, it hasn't happened, so to speak. They're currently in Kuje prison. And I'm like, what are we doing in this country? What exactly is going on? I saw somebody write something with regards, I don't know if you saw it, there was a lady who had gone to lay flowers at the toll gate, at the Lekki toll gate, and she was manhandled.
Yes, that was.
She was manhandled. And somebody
protest.
And SARS, yes. And I was like, what is this manhandling for? All she's doing is going to, lay flowers. And then somebody had tweeted and said, it's only during maybe government rallies, political rallies, that we see peaceful protests or peaceful rallies. You don't see police manhandling anybody. Instead, that's when you see them, everybody's well behaved. The person gave a list of, different rallies or protests when it serves, the government, the sitting government, or whoever. But when it is that people are tired of the status quo, that's when you see these kinds of things happening. Again, I'm not against, the court saying they disobeyed the rules and whatever. But even if the court comes out to say they were disturbing, I asked a question yesterday. I said, are protests illegal in Nigeria?
Nope.
To which Adeyemi responded that no, protests are in the constitution. It's fine. And from the looks of things, from the videos and pictures that we saw, there was nothing signaling that this protest was unruly or that it was. Of course, if there's going to be a protest, there will be traffic. Even when government officials are passing, there is traffic because if you see 20 of them, nobody can move. So what are we talking about? Anyway, let me move to our next analyst this morning. Let me
Are you here with me? Okay.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Please go ahead,
I'm going to really, really try my best here, and I think I'm going to act like a broadcaster. But let's attempt. See, according to the police, in this Vanguard report that you have read, Kanu's lawyer and brother, according to the police, in the Guardian, that they engaged in criminal conspiracy, they incited disturbance, and they disturbed public peace. Offenses punishable under sections 152, 114, and 113 of the Penal Code. And that on the 20th day of October, which is 2 days ago, right? I want to believe so. Ejimako, Kanu's brother, and about 10 others, all male adults, were arrested by a team of security agents. Now, let me quickly say that it is a government responsibility to protect citizens from disturbances. It is legitimate, right? It is legitimate for the government to say, I want to protect the citizens from disturbances. But it must be balanced with the constitutional right to peaceful assembly and freedom of expression. In the case of the protest, the court ruled, right, that citizens have a right to peaceful protest. We know that, provided they maintain peace and comply with security advisories. As I said, provided they maintain peace and comply with security advisories. But according to the Guardian, as I said, they said they engaged in criminal conspiracy. They incited disturbance and they disturbed public peace. Now, there are a few things I want us to note here, okay? Every citizen has a right, constitutional right, to assemble peacefully and express their views. We call it right to peaceful assembly, right?
Yeah.
The government is also responsible for protecting citizens and maintaining public order. We call it government responsibility. However, the government must balance its responsibility to protect citizens with the right to peaceful assembly and freedom of expression. Again, I call that balancing right and responsibility. Now, I know that while a court order restrained protesters, because there's a court order, remember, that restrained protesters from holding demonstrations in certain areas of Abuja. Yet, I know that citizens still have the right to assemble and express themselves. But their arrest was because they said they participated in a protest and that they were restrained protesters as well. There's a court order. So it's a case of the government trying to protect citizens, and it's also a case of, the people who protested, who are demanding Nnamdi Kanu's release from prison. It is a matter of public opinion and a constitutional right, including in many countries, including Nigeria, where our citizens, Nigerians, have a right, are allowed to peacefully protest. So for me, when the police are saying they incited, and the police are saying that they disturbed peace, public peace, I think one has to be careful here that they may be doing what they're supposed to be doing, while, because you say, for me, you said something, it's actually difficult to protest peacefully. If you remember the EndSARS that you mentioned, there were quite a number of people who had the opinion that the young people who were protesting police brutality were not causing any problems. But it is hoodlums that joined them
Yes.
that caused the problem. Could this be the case with Kanu's situation? I do not know. But I think the government has a right to protect public peace. If I am government, right? If anything is happening in my territory, I would want to protect the people in my territory. So it's differed opinion, and it will be good to hear what people have to say. I think government has done what it has to do, but I also think Nigerians have a right to peaceful protest and express themselves. Yeah, thank you.
Definitely. Yeah.
Please go ahead.
We have the right, it's the constitution, it's our right to actually protest. But at the end of the day, when it comes to protest, you sometimes you can't control what happens in a protest. And that's where I understand where the government is coming from, knowing fully well how sensitive this case is. So probably they're just trying to curb all of the, maybe any kind of incident that might want to come up. And that's why they're taking that decision. Or rather, that's why they did what they did. But even at that, does that warrant you, arresting, this number of people? Keeping them in detention, and you are not even, allowing them to have their own say, or even bring in their own lawyer, or have no legal representation, because at the end of the day, at least that is what they're entitled to, to have their legal representation. And if we look at public peace, there's no protest that would happen that you would not see security agencies around. All right, you definitely see security agencies around every protest, whether within this country or outside this country.
Yes.
As far as the gathering of people who are trying to demand for something, you definitely see, one security personnel or the other around there. But then, I think they should be there to make sure that that protest is not taken over by hoodlums. That protest is not taken over by people who are coming there with the wrong notions, just to, probably harm other people, or make the protest be what is not supposed to be. Okay, so now when we come down to talking about arresting all of these people, and all of these people that they've arrested, they have one thing or the other in connection to the person that, they are trying to have out, or trying to get out of the government coffers. So could it be that there are probably other, intentions when gathering all of these people and arresting them? Maybe they're trying to send a message, but even at that, shouldn't they even have their own, rights to actually come out to say this? Now, before Tone comes in, let's remember that we're on YouTube. Please go ahead, watch us live, and drop your comments. We'll definitely love to hear from you, and share the links also. Please do well to follow us there at WFM 917. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah. I mean, I just wanted to say that, you see, the question is this okay? Now, whether it is okay to demand Kanu's release depends on individual perspectives on justice, human rights, and the rule of law. Some see it as a legitimate expression of support for Kanu, right? And a call for justice, while others may view it as interference with the judicial process or a challenge to the government authority. Now, let me quickly pick up, still on the Vanguard rather. There's this comment from Bayo Onanuga, obviously the spokesperson, special advisor to the president, who is expected to defend the president anyway. That's his job. He said that he called on legal regulatory bodies in Nigeria to sanction Ejimakor for participating in the protest in Abuja, because his participation undermined legal ethics. Remember, that's his legal counsel, right? He's saying that how can your legal counsel be participating in the protest in Abuja? He said that given that Kanu's case was still before a competent court. Do you understand what I'm saying? He is saying that he should not have joined the protest. But you would also hear Wabara, who is a former Senate president of Nigeria. He called for the immediate release of all the protesters arrested during Monday's protest in Abuja. I mean, it would have been good to have access to the police, because I think what's the name of the police spokesperson now? Benjamin Hundeyin. Yes, he said that he confirmed the arrest of Kanu's lawyer, right? and Kanu's brother and the 10 others, and he said they will be prosecuted in less than 24 hours after diligent investigation. I think there is a law that says you have to prosecute people within a certain period of time.
So yes, they do not have legal representation, and that's I'm seeming like the contrarian today, but they do not have legal representation. You cannot. I mean, we saw this also in the case of Kwamtu, what was her name? Comforts, what was her? I can't remember her name now. In the Ibom Air situation, she was remanded literally 24 hours. Like the process, it's almost like the process of justice automatically becomes fast and efficient when it doesn't favor, when somebody else is on the receiving end. But when it is maybe government officials or friends of the government or friends of politicians, the process of justice is slower. And that's where I'm even coming from. And here's the thing: we have seen time and time again where terrorists have been given second chances, where they've been forgiven, and there has been a backlash. Nigerians have said no, but these people are how do you even know that they're repentant terrorists, that you're giving them second chances? Some people would argue to say that those terrorists and Nnamdi Kanu are in the same level. Again, like you mentioned, it's a matter of perspective.
For me,
Yes,
so what I understand is that Okere Nnamdi, who is also a legal practitioner, he elected to defend himself, right?
Yes.
He wanted to defend himself. But Kanu's counsel, Ejimako, he pleaded for a stand down. He said, wait to enable our legal team arrive, right? He pleaded for a stand down to enable their legal team arrive. But his plea was rejected by the court, who adjourned the case till Friday. So I hear what we are all saying, and may what you hear people say, may Nigeria not happen to you, sometimes it's difficult to fight a system, and trust me, for those who went out to protest, they knew that this would happen, so they knew that there is a possibility that this will happen, and I believe that they are ready to face the tune. I do hope that justice will prevail. I do hope that the rule of law will prevail, and they will not be used as scapegoats. That's all I can say. But as I said earlier, the government has a right to protect its citizens, which is what the police, because the police is working for the government. They have a responsibility to protect citizens from disturbances, which I said is legitimate. But again, it has to be balanced with the constitutional right to peaceful assembly and freedom of expression. So the government's actions will be scrutinized, to ensure they respect citizens' rights while maintaining public order. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Tom.
All right. This is about 2 minutes to 8 right here on Your Women Radio WFM 91.7. I think we can go ahead and open up the phone lines for me. Yep.
Yes, we can. Yes. Oh, night. Do you want to say it this time around? Do you remember it?
No, just go ahead. I give it to you.
09155917917 or 7000917917. It's not that you will call at 8:20. We've opened the phone lines now because that's the trend now. It's like people are still taking it in. You can call now. We want to know your thoughts on this topic. You can text us on 08155917917 or 703-1756-537 to text us. Maybe you are feeling too heated up. Send it to us via text. We'll read it on your behalf. Those are the numbers to call and the numbers to text this morning. Okay, should we just? Okay, we have a message. We have just one message for now. Nice morning to you all in the studio. Oh, we have a call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mrs. Boli.
Good morning, ladies. Madam Sonia, thank God you are here with us this morning.
That's Madam Ogoli, bye.
Yes.
How are you? Good morning.
I'm good, Mrs. Rose. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
How is the weather in your environment?
I'm fine. We bless God. We bless God now.
We're always blessing God in Nigeria. He's well.
Yes.
It is well. That is the Nigerian language. The first Nigerian you meet will tell you it is well, even when it is not well.
Honestly.
So, I've heard your submission this morning. Your submission. I think I want to come for Rose this morning, although she has made amends. But let me start this way.
I didn't see that.
I understand government's position. Hello?
Yes,
I can hear
you.
Go ahead.
Okay. As much as I understand government's position to protect lives and property, you and I will agree that government, especially those who were active oppositions in times past, before they got into power, use any form of opposition in the country now as rebellion. And they want to do everything to crush it. But the question now is, should it be so? The answer is no. If you crush opposition and take away people's right of protest, which is a civic right enshrined in the constitutional amendment in the constitution of this country, honestly, you have ended up making or instilling fear into people. You will make them subservient and you will end up making them docile. And I think that is what the government of the day seems to want. It's unfair. You can't beat a child and tell a child not to cry. Let's leave Nnamdi Kanu's protest. The end bad governance protest, the end tax protest. I've discovered something. These same people that clamp down on citizens now have at one time or the other protested because they were having issues with the system. And now when you decide to take away that willpower from protesters, maybe not really necessarily in the Kanu situation, let's just shelve the cost for a bit. Now, I read his postulation. He said that the bearded lawyer, I think that reeks of toughness as far as I'm concerned. I understood what he said. But I want to also say that this same lawyer is also somebody under the citizen of this country that has a right to protest. Of course, the case is in court. I agree. But whenever you are talking, have it in mind that as a citizen of this country, it overrides if you are a lawyer, if you are a doctor, as long as what you are doing operates in the confines of the constitution of this country. Before he became a lawyer, he was first a citizen. And so everybody should have their day in the court. As it is. But please, I think whenever Bayononuka comes to the media to utter anything in defense of the president, he tends to bring people down with his comments. And when you're talking about cybercrime bully, he should be the first person you should attack for that. He should, in fact, he should be made to answer the way he answers the populace, because he's having us as a people. It speaks of pettiness and it reeks of, I don't want to insult him this morning. But Madam Cho, you'd agree with me that there's no time Mr. Bayononuka opens his mouth to speak. He puts down the people, and it is very, very wrong. Now, where is the rule of law in all I have said this morning? When you withhold the people's power and you say they cannot protest, I will keep on saying it. During the end of the governance protest, our one language was, we are hungry. I knew what happened at Ojota when we came outside. We didn't come for the government. Yes, the government sowed these seeds of this. I don't know how, I don't want to say the government now. Let me use the word allegedly. They brought in anti-protesters. Do you understand? And pro-protesters, they made them gather together in Ojota. You want to protect life and property. If they are protesting, nobody comes to their camp. But whenever people are protesting to say what the government is doing is bad, you will now, have you ever seen where they are protesting for the government and you see anybody going there with any problem? No, the answer is no. The police will be on ground, the army will be on ground protecting them. But once we come out to say we don't want what is happening in the government of the day, you will see different kinds of stories. You want to start the peace of the country, you want to do this, please, I beg us. If we decide to rejoice at injustice because it favors us, a time will come when justice will elude us because we are rejoicing at injustice. I understand the show this morning, but my question is, should persons that are protesting what is happening in the country, maybe for Nnamdi Kanu, maybe for the way we are being led, because they are no longer leaders, they are rulers, should we come out for a protest? Must we be met with a clamp down? I come with my bottle of water. You come with your AK-47. You come with your power armor tank. You come with your spray. You come with your tear gas. At what point will we level up in this country where somebody will come out and protest freely without any form of harm coming to that person? 2010, 2020, still reverberates in our memory. With the denial that nobody died. Yes, we know people died. Governors, we know what happened. That protest, we know what happened. Madam Tong and the ladies in the house. For how long will Nigerians come out to protest? And not, let me just tell you something, Madam. So let me reiterate this. I came out again to protest when they closed the school for the blind at Samka Center. That was about 3 months ago.
Yes.
They told us that even for the fact that it was black people that are protesting, that they would have tear gassed us or shut us down. Madam, so persons with disability out to protest, that their schools were shut down. And then you come out to say in the public glare that I won't mention the people because I don't want to indict your station this morning. That for the fact that it is the people that have disabilities, that are blind, that came out, you would have said that them and you would also shoot them down. Please now. Why now? You cannot beat the head and tell that child not to cry. People participating in protest because I want this country to work. Please don't stifle the people. Because when we stifle them up, they will look for another way to bring and air out their grievances. Good morning,
Mrs. Ogoli, don't go yet. So are you still there?
I'm in you.
She's okay. Mrs. Ogoli, see, you are very right. I agree with you on most things you have said. We should never be shut down when we are involved in peaceful protest. There is it's a constitutional right. We have a right to be involved in peaceful protest. We just spoke about Yemi Adamolekun, who went to remember the victims of NSAS with a bouquet of flowers. And you could see the security guards, actually holding her down. Pulling her down. One person, about 4 or 5, were pulling her in both arms. I think it is wrong. I agree with you. But let me say something on behalf of Bayo Ononuga. I don't know him, by the way. I do not know him. I've never met him. But you know what? He's doing his job, in my opinion. And he's doing his job well. He is a spokesperson. When you are called a spokesperson for somebody, you will defend your principle. And that is what he has done well. He's defending his principal, who is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and indirectly, he is defending the government as well. Look at everybody that has been a spokesperson. Look at past presidents. Look at governors. Look at leaders. When they err or they do anything wrong, it is the job of the spokesperson to defend them. If you can't do that, then your job is on the line. So, Bayo Ononuga is doing his job, Madam Ogoli. You are also doing your job. You say whether his principle is wrong or right, his job is spokesperson. That's why a lawyer will take on a job, even when they know that case is dead on arrival, even when they know that their client is guilty, they will still take on that job and look for constitutional errors. They call it technical errors, to ensure that their client wins the case. Bayo Ononuga is doing his job. We are also doing our job as Women Radio and allowing Nigerians to come out and talk. The people that went out to protest, have they done anything wrong? Absolutely no. They haven't. The people that decided to protect, the government that wants to protect its citizens, have they done anything wrong? I think they have done their bit. For me, it is a court to ensure that the actions of the government is balanced. But for Bayo Ononuga, honestly, as I said, I don't know him. If I take on that job, I probably would be defending my principle. I won't take on the job, by the way, but if I have to take on that kind of a job, I probably would be defending my principle. Thank you.
Can I ask you a question?
Madam. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
The question is this. If Rose were to be your spokesperson, and in defending you, it's always putting down those who are your clients and your customers. In behind closed doors, what would you tell her?
So I know we are debating, and I know they are allowing us to talk. Let me say something, right? If there's one person that I love, it is that guy called Larry, who is a spokesperson for Wiki. See, sometimes, if you because we are decent people, we will not do this. But sometimes when you meet somebody who is not stable and they are reacting in an unstable way, sometimes you have to give it back to them in the language they understand. Honestly, that's the way I see it. If you look at, I don't follow Bayo Onanuga, so I don't know what he does. But if he is pulling people down and is speaking to people, if he speaks to people in a derogatory manner, who are those people that he's speaking to in a derogatory manner? But I don't want us to deviate from what we are saying.
Okay.
In what I have read here, Bayo Onanuga said, he just said, look, this guy should not be allowed to protest. And you have also expressed yourself that he is a citizen before becoming a
Sorry
legal
to
person,
interrupt
and that he
this
has a right to
conversation,
speak.
but we have a call on the other line.
People can continue later. Let's take on the call.
Good morning, Evangelist Dixon. How are you this morning?
Good morning, women. Good morning, women. Good morning, madam. So God will bless you. In fact, I've been listening to you. I say, wow. When you come on radio sometimes, let's know that many people are listening. I see the way you answer. And so when Madam Chief also come on board and listen to her carefully, and I deal with me also, and some other people. And what I'm really saying is this: no government in power will like protest. Because when you start that protest, you will not be able to control. You may say government some people have good intention, while some people have bad intention. This kind of case is a very sensitive issue and needs to be resolved by the elder and the state government. That's what I said yesterday. We should go back to the elder, because when we started, the elder said that's not how to go about it, because people like us experience war, and we don't want our children to experience it. Go back to the governor, go back to the elders, let them speak together. And come to President Tinubu. If they listen to them, you will listen. So some of us that are fought for will never support him. And that's where political card, because let me tell you, before, post-election violence is always, anytime election is coming up, people will grip us. Why? After election, if Igbo man won, they start killing from the north. If it's a Yoruba one, they start killing. Because of that, the elite sat down, political elite sat down and said, let's have a rotational presidency. And so they have a rotational presidency. Things have been working there. And now why I said that yesterday, and we should go back to see geopolitical zone. We take it so that there will be no agitation. If not, this agitation will continue. If after our time, our children that do not know history, it will continue accumulate another thing. Let us live. We are better together. Let us love one another and care for one another. Anywhere we are. That new Nigeria we are looking at, we come up one day. If I, in the fear of God, can do the right thing, you do the right thing. Not only what you can get. What can we do to make Nigeria get? Not what you can get. We are one brother. Let us be continue being brothers and sisters. Forget about it is all about religion are coming from where they are coming from. That you are all created by God to love one another and unite. It's only when we love ourselves, unite together, and we move this question forward. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. And thank you, Madam Tom. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Evangelist Dixon, for calling. Go ahead, Rose. You have the floor.
I just wanted to say thank you to Evangelist Dixon. You know, most times when he calls, he's always, oh, okay, let's put Nigeria first, all of that. So you could actually see that he's talking from the point of view of, yeah, I'm getting old, so if we should just, let's take Nigeria.
Yeah, but Rose, you also know what, right? He probably experienced it, probably is a product of the war in Nigeria. And you see a lot of mature people not wanting, because the aftermath of war is bad. Is bad. You know, I have been to Rwanda. Rwanda is one of the best lovely countries in Africa. But if you see the citizens, sometimes they just move like zombies, because you just don't want the aftermath of war. You know how it is when you and your friend or your partner or your sister or your sibling, when you fight, you won't have rest now. So these are people that have seen the aftermath of the war, and they don't want this to happen to Nigeria. We differ. We have our different languages, different tribes,
good morning,
and religion.
everybody.
Good morning.
Sorry to good morning.
Good morning, Fumi. Good morning, Rose. Good morning, our madam. Good morning, everybody. Madam Obori,
I
thank
don't
you.
they wait you. I don't they wait you, Mr. Praise. I they wait you. I gallant for you.
Good morning, Prince.
My
You're welcome.
first,
Good morning. How are you
good
this
morning,
morning?
everybody. My first request is we have been missing. There is one Madam Joy that was calling us from Ikorodu those days. We are missing her. So, women, please bring her back on the line. Thank God, Madam Obori has joined us finally, and our voice is there, always as strong as ever. This morning, I want to ask you, our analysts, journalists that have become analysts for us this morning. Number one, please, is protest a crime? My first question. If it's not a crime, where did they go wrong? You said they barricaded some area or told them not to go near some areas. Please, where they were arrested, was it located close to any of those places? Now, next question. For me, I'm a researcher, so I ask question more. I look for something to challenge my brain. My next question is, if we continue singing that we are practicing democracy or one Nigeria, how long are we going to see the color of democracy even more bitter than the military uniform? What I can call military coup in Nigeria. Please, the military era in Nigeria and what we are having now, which one is more beneficial to Nigeria's progress? And lastly, our analyst this morning, I want us to look at what the government is currently doing in terms of any policy that they have brought out that really favor or that is working for the masses outside the political. To think that all that is going on is just for those that are close, that are singing the praises. If you are not benefiting, nothing for you. Me, I'm still buying rice as high as whatever, I don't know, of my Akute friend. I'm still buying Gary. I remember even on that book, we bought Gary 200 naira per mudu. That is a penta. I was a seller of Gary now. I went to Ogbomoso. I go to Peru. I go to Idejuleki, buy Gary and bring to Lagos and say 300 naira at the time. Later 500 naira. How much is Gary? And somebody is now pricing us. Please, I want my question. Are we really saying that Nigeria military is better than Nigeria democracy, correct democracy? Do we demand uniformly, demand for military rule? Which one will lead us? I want us, if those that are the campaign, please continue the campaign. Those that are endorsing or have continue endorsing. I believe that you are not.
Okay.
We lost that call.
Yeah. Lost the call. All right. So this is about 18 minutes past 9 on this side of the radio, and this is still the newspaper review on the Full Breakfast Show. Yes, we are wrapping up, but soon let's hear your thoughts or your answers.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Protest is never a crime. Even in the house, we protest. You see children protesting again. So protest is never a crime. It's a constitutional right. For me, the worst of democracy is better than military rule. I don't want the military back. You know, the worst of democracy would always be my option. His question, the other question he asked is that, and I'm going to respond with what the Vanguard said. They were arrested. The charges against the defendant said they were involved in inciting disturbance, breach of public peace, in disobedience to a court order, denying other citizens the freedom of movement, disrupting free flow of traffic while chanting war songs. That is why they were arrested. And as I said earlier, the government has a right to protect its citizens, and Nigerian citizens have a right to peaceful protest. I think I've answered that. Yeah. And what happened to Yemi Adamolekun, I think is very wrong. That's what I would also say is absolutely very wrong. And I hope we can pick up on that and discuss that at some point in time. Thank you.
All right, thank you very
Oh,
much. So let's quickly take up the rest of the messages we have, if we have any.
yes. Yeah, we just have one message. This one is Mayor from Ikotun. He says, "Nice morning to you all in the studio. ADC accused APC of burning their office. I Mayor will never doubt it because we all know the character of APC when it comes to violence and attacking people because they know that the masses are no longer with them. All this endorsement for a man that has so far disappointed himself and the entire nation is still being endorsed by blind followers. I'm not surprised because even the devil has followers. The detention of Nnamdi Kalu's lawyer is expected by so many of us because we already know that they are the target, especially Peter Obi, but we are wiser than them. Oh God, arise and trouble those that are troubling Nigerians." Thank you so much, Mayor, for your message.
Okay, so let's quickly look at this one before we go. Although we're going to talk about it more on her lens, so yeah, you should join us on
Okay.
her lens at 9:05. But quickly, I know see this one because this one suits my body well when I was looking at some of the things that were happening yesterday. So Senate slams life sentence on child defilement to toughen laws on rape. This is coming from the Guardian and so many other papers who actually carried this. So the Senate has approved life imprisonment for anyone convicted of defiling a minor, a dramatic escalation from the present 5-year jail term under the nation's criminal code. And coincidentally, this came up yesterday, and day before yesterday, we saw a news of a young lady in Borno who took her life because father forced her into a marriage with his friend. So the young lady took her life, very pretty young girl. So I'm thinking this has come up, and this should be able to protect a lot of young girls. This should be able to protect our children. This should be able to protect us from saying some of this, ills that we get to hear from all over the country. Now, when I was reading through some of the comments, on that particular, girl story, and of course on this one, a lot of them were saying the north, the north, the north, the north. But I mean, why were we doing what do you call it? Why were we organizing what do you call this thing that we did in different palaces here in Ogun State and even in Lagos
The
State?
town hall meetings.
Yes, thank you. Town hall meetings. Why were we having those town hall meetings around here? That's because statistics show that some of these things still happen around it. So it's a national problem as far as I'm concerned. Yes, we get to hear about it more in the north. So hopefully this has come to stay and it will be followed through with, because it's not just enough to make it a law. It's about implementing it. So I'm just hoping that we get to have this implemented. We get to have this followed to the latter to see that people are actually convicted, when they defile a minor, or when they do anything that has to endanger the life of a young child or a young girl. So let's quickly hear from you before we go in just about a minute or so.
I mean, for me, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes,
Yes, we
yes.
can.
Yes, for me and for working with women and girls, this development by the Senate is a significant step in strengthening Nigeria's legal framework against sexual violence and child abuse. So for the Senate to indeed approve life imprisonment for anyone convicted of child defilement, this is the best news that anybody could hear. This decision was made, as you know, through the passage of the Criminal Code Amendment Bill 2025, which aims to impose stiffer penalties for sexual offenses and protect vulnerable individuals. I sincerely think that is the best thing that has happened. The bill prescribes life imprisonment without the option of a fine for anyone found guilty of defiling a minor. So for me, I would just say well done to the Senate, Nigerian Senate, for taking that decision. But don't forget, the minimum sentence for rape, which is 10 years imprisonment, has been set for rape. And I think judges now have discretion to impose stiffer sentences in aggravated cases. But this one, we should laud it. We should let people know. We should be all over. And I just want to salute the Nigerian Senate for taking this significant step in this this day. For today, I am very happy with the decision they have taken, and I'm sure this will send. I mean, it's not going to stop people from still defiling children underage, but at least you know that if you are caught, you face the tune. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tone. Thank you very much. Yes, so like I said, this one it really sweets my body, and I'm sure that a lot of us really, look forward to seeing some of these things happening, and hopefully it gets to be followed through with, because that's the most important thing. All right, so this is where we wrap it up for today on the newspaper review right here on the Full Breakfast Show. We've had a great conversation, Fumi, right?
Yes, we did. We did today. We did.
Yes. So tomorrow is another day. We'll be here, God willing. Thank you so much, Tone, for joining us this morning. We hope to, have you one of the days.
I'll try. But I hope our listeners can understand that what we're doing on Women Radio is also a form of protest as well when we're discussing this. But thank you very much for having me, ladies. I think one of these days I'm going to bring you down to Abuja to spend the weekend.
Okay. We're available.
All right. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. So you do likewise.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Join us again tomorrow at 7:30. We'll be here. Thank you so much for being with us. Your messages and of course your calls. We do appreciate each and every one of them. So do want to have a great day. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser.
My name is Fumi Bangala. Have a great day ahead of you.
Have you been a victim of corruption? Do you want to report how corruption affects you and your community? Send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Something big is coming with Better Play. Get ready to turn 500 naira into a 200,000 naira daily jackpot. Yes, you heard me right. 200,000 naira every single day. The more tickets you grab, the higher your chances of winning. Stay tuned because this is the game changer you've been waiting for, coming to you on Women Radio 91.7 FM. Are you ready to play and win big?
See, everybody with him own wahala. Every day comes with its own version of challenges, and you have to be ready to face them, because only then can you move on to the next. That's why I never miss my breakfast. Scratch that. My peak breakfast, with the nutrients and energy I need to face each day, one challenge at a time.
Every day is a good day to power on with a peak breakfast. Have you had your